Welcome back my friends to another video, and today we're going to be focusing on the best places to buy a buy-to-let. Now I have a popular buy-to-let video over here if you are new, or even if you're experienced actually, that may be worth checking out afterwards, as it runs through everything you need to know about buy-to-lets. However, for today's video I want to focus on helping you guys find the best place to buy a buy-to-let for yourselves. And as I've sectioned the video up into a few chapters, as you can see along the bottom, all of these points are going to be important for your decision making process. So let's begin with the most obvious thing to consider: location. Now every property strategy works, but not every strategy works in every area. And when it comes to location, you need to consider many things, and the first of which is amenities. Now these are important because depending on your tenant profile who will be moving into your house, they will be looking for an area that has amenities that obviously suit their current lifestyle. Such things could include things like child daycare, hospitals, fitness facilities, schools, colleges, and even public transport. And these may not be as important to some of you watching this, but when buying a buy-to-let, we need to think of the end in mind and consider what will be useful and convenient for those who would essentially rent out your property in the end, i.e. the tenants. Next up, we have regeneration and development plans, often an overlooked one, but if you just look at, let's say the HS2 for example, prices of properties along that route have rapidly increased, with prospective investors thinking long term and making sensible guesses that these will become well sought out areas in the future. And a quick way you can find out about your local area is by a simple Google search, looking at news articles, local publications, and of course the local council website. You can usually find plans by local councils about what they aim to achieve in terms of developments, housing and jobs over the next few years too. Following this, it's useful to look at the postcode and the areas that you may be considering buying into, and checking the past data. This may surprise a few of you, but houses don't always go up in value everywhere. There are some areas that have yet to recover from 2008 crash, and there are some that move ridiculously slow in comparison to others. So depending on whether or not you're happy with this, it's important to at least establish an understanding of the general price growth within the areas that you're looking into. Moving on to one of the most important pointers: tenant profile. What types of tenants would be letting your house? Is it a family? Young professionals? Are they currently on benefits? It's important to know this because a family is less likely to move into an area where schools aren't great or local. Similarly, a young professional may not want to be surrounded by areas with loads of schools either. So having your ideal avatar for the type of tenant known beforehand can be a very useful tool. And finally, on location, one that makes all of this possible and you renting your property out as a worthwhile investment and a home to somebody, of course, is demand. Is there even a demand for housing in that particular area? Now a quick way to establish this is by seeing how quick properties let on online portals. But another simple way is just by going out and speaking to local letting agents and getting their perspective and thoughts on the current demand of people coming in and wanting to rent. You can also ask them what types of tenants are coming in, what are the types of properties that do the best in terms of letting, and these are all good research tools that you guys need to know. Moving on, the next important point is of course to smash the hell out of that like button if you have found any of this useful so far, or even made it to this point. By doing so, it kindly helps the channel out and it never goes unnoticed, and it's always appreciated. So thank you guys. So post location, we are going to be looking at capital growth versus monthly net cash flow. A very important question you must be asking yourselves about which one is the most important to you. Is it having more cash per month in your account from each property transaction, or having a property that in the next 15, 20, 25 years grows more in capital appreciation? You see, in most circumstances, you will make more from a property in capital appreciation than you will just off the monthly cash flow. And when I purchase properties, I want to be sure that in 20 years time, they've at least grown considerably in price to hedge against, of course, inflation and just prove as a worthwhile investment of my hard-earned money. However, for others, the monthly cash flow is the most important aspect, and whether that property stays the same value in 20 years or not is not often a huge priority. However, either is fine, but just know what type of person you are first and foremost. Moving on from this, we need to look at the price points. You can probably spend £100,000 easily on a buy-to-let in London. Yet alternatively, you could probably buy maybe 4 properties with that amount in other areas in the UK. And there's pros and cons to each of these guys. One void with that London property, you have no cash flow for that particular month. But there's loads more to it, and I've shared this on many of the videos on this channel if you are interested in learning more about property, so please do check those out. Following this, it's then important to obviously identify your goals and know them. Why are you investing in buy-to-lets? Is it your retirement pot? Are you hedging against inflation? Are you needing to increase your monthly cash flow perhaps to maybe get yourself out of work or replace your salary? Whatever and wherever you fall in this journey, establishing answers to these questions will massively determine why you are buying the type of property for that particular price in the first instance. Now, of course, pulling the trigger on a buy to let can be daunting, guys, if you haven't started, but the comment section and the 150 videos on this channel is open to you guys. So please do make use of that, as I can try and help you with my experience over the last 10 years of investing. And that, my friends, is where I'm going to end this video. I would like to say thanks to anyone who stuck around when you guys could have literally been doing anything, but you chose to spend a few moments with me. And that, my friends, that makes you pretty awesome. So until next time, my friends, thanks for watching.